If I wanted you to think of a gray anime, what would come to mind? You may think of Demon Slayer, Attack on Titan, or Rent-a-Girlfriend. But no matter what you thought of, I can guarantee the majority had titles that were short, simple, and just make sense. Take the big three for example. Naruto gets its name because, well, the main character is Naruto. One Piece gets its name because the whole goal is finding the One Piece. And Bleach gets its name because, alright, I'm not too sure about that one. Yo, why is Bleach called Bleach? Anyways, getting back on topic, as time went on, I noticed there was a trend going on. There were more anime titles that were not only getting longer and longer, but also getting weirder and weirder, to the point where one look at the title and you just can't take the show seriously. And the main culprit for these kinds of titles are from the Isekai genre. Now, I was never a fan of Isekai anime. Even the proclaimed best ones weren't that good to me. Like Re:Zero, it was just an alright 7 out of 10. Being the best at something doesn't mean shit when your competition is trash. Cause in my eyes, damn near 99% of the genre is just the same thing recycled over and over. And I see a similar pattern with a lot of these titles. Something along the lines of reincarnated or reborn in another world as a, and then randomly generate the last word. That's the only way for how one can come up with some of the things these isekai main characters get reincarnated as. Like a vending machine. Now I'm no writing expert, but I can't be the only one who just can't see how a show about a vending machine could be any good. We also got That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Reincarnated as a Sword, Skeleton Knight in Another World, Jobless Reincarnation. Man, imagine being jobless. Could not be me. Could not be me. The titles are so unserious, I bet I can make one. Matter of fact, let's do it right now. Bear with me. Okay, let's first start off with the title. I'm thinking Reborn in Another World as, and then let's randomly generate the last word, okay? Grandma, that's the title. Now we need a main character. So for that, let's just take Kirito from Sword Art Online and name him Yukito and call it a day. And lastly, the plot. Now this is where it gets serious. You need a good story for an anime to be successful. Our character has been reincarnated as a grandma, right? So I'm thinking he reincarnates as his own grandma. Now his grandma is pretty old, let's say 85 years old.
Damn!
And she's kind of given up on life. She's got all these dreams she hasn't accomplished yet, but she thinks she's too old to do anything about it. The main character though doesn't think this way. So the anime would follow the main character in the grandma's body, going out and completing what was on the grandma's goals list, like a bucket list. And the overarching message would be that it's never too late to start chasing your dreams. Man, this low-key some fire writing, I'm not gonna lie. But aside from the cookie cutter name template, some isekai titles are just laughably long, like The Strongest Tank's Labyrinth. Holy shit. Like The Strongest Tank's Labyrinth raids, a tank with a rare 9,999 resistance skill got kicked from the hero's party. As a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skills to rise in the world's salaryman, using his talent-seeking abilities to build an army. And the misfit of Demon Academy, history's strongest demon king reincarnates and goes to school with his descendants, is an amusing high school power trip. Now, you may be wondering two things. One, why'd I have to say each word for word? I could have just shown them on the screen. And that's just cause I want to make the video longer, you silly goose. But also, why exactly are some of these titles so long? Well, doing some research, the reason why some of these titles are so long is because apparently people in Japan have worse attention spans than a teenager addicted to TikTok. Because people in Japan just weren't willing to read the synopsis, you know, the blurb on the back of the book. So to combat this, authors have to basically make the title the synopsis, extending the length of the title to make it happen. Which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I mean, I'd be way more likely to pick up a show with a shorter, cleaner name than the long-ass descriptions the isekai ones have. But hey, no hate to any of these authors that made these titles, it's all for fun. But there is another category of anime titles that go beyond just being a little silly. You see, there's also been an increasing amount of just straight up weirdo titles that baffle me on how they sell at all. These are the type of titles where the phrase "never judge a book by its cover" can get thrown out the window. For example, we got My Little Sister, Can't Be This Cute.
Leave.
My Wife Became an Elementary School Student. And for the sake of the anime PR team, we're gonna have to cut this video short right here. So yeah, that's the video on some of the goofiest anime titles. Check out my other videos. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.